Hello everyone, my name is the Netflix Kid and this is my very first episode of Best Movies on Netflix. If you're like me, then you watch a lot of movies on Netflix. And I mean a lot. So after watching all these movies, I put 10 of them together that I think you just have to watch. So let's get started. Mongol is a film about the infamous Mongolian conqueror Genghis Khan. It starts out by depicting his early years and the terrible tragedies that befall the young Khan before he becomes one of the greatest conquerors the world has ever known. You learn about his father's death, how he was sold into slavery, but overcame all of this with the help of his wife to lead one of the greatest armies in the world. If you enjoy foreign films and some epic battle scenes, then I highly recommend you add this one to your must-watch list.
Why do you want to be a lobby boy?
Who wouldn't? At the Grand Budapest, sir.
Next on the list, we have a movie where you really need to sit down and get immersed into the story. The Grand Budapest Hotel follows the story of a young lobby boy named Zero, who is taken on as an apprentice of sorts by the legendary Gustav H. at the famous Grand Budapest Hotel. This movie is fairly new, and I went into it not knowing what to expect. It exceeded all my expectations. The movie completely draws you in with its unique storytelling, and it's hilarious to boot. Number 3 is a documentary that I recently watched based on the legendary sushi chef Jiro. Jiro Dreams of Sushi goes over why exactly Jiro is considered one of the best, if not the best, sushi chefs in Japan, and most likely the world. From him traveling to the fish market every single morning to pick out the freshest seafood, to the extremely time-consuming methods he prepares his fish. Eating at his restaurant costs a little under $300 a head, but takes months in advance to book a reservation. If you love sushi as much as I do, you will love this documentary. Moving on to number 4. Many of you have already seen this next one, but Snatch has to be one of my all-time favorite movies, so I just had to include it. Directed by Guy Ritchie. By the way, if you aren't familiar with his films, then go binge watch all of them. It follows 2 different storylines. A big jewelry heist, which goes completely wrong, and an illegal boxing match where the promoters get scammed by a bunch of gypsies. As plans go haywire and tempers fray, dogs, diamonds, caravans, boxers, and assorted weaponry get swept up into a chaotic free-for-all. I definitely recommend this one. Moving on, if you're a Jim Carrey fan and haven't seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, then shame on you. Just kidding, but seriously, you need to go and watch this. Jim Carrey meets a girl named Clementine, but after a breakup, she decides to get her memories erased of him. Yes, this technology is possible in the movie. Heartbroken Jim Carrey decides to undergo the exact same operation, but during the procedure he has a change of heart and decides he doesn't want to forget Clementine anymore. He desperately fights to hang on to what little memories he has left. All this is happening in his mind while he's in some dreamlike state. If you aren't into romantic comedies, I would not let this hold you back. I highly recommend this movie to all. Moving on, End of Watch is starring one of my favorite actors, Jake Gyllenhaal. It's a fast-paced movie about 2 longtime LAPD partners in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in LA. After getting involved trying to bust the Mexican cartel, they find themselves caught up in some serious trouble. There isn't much else to say about this movie except that it's one of the best police movies I've seen in a long time, and it really depicts the police-partner relationship well. If you're looking for some action but also want a really solid plot, then I recommend watching End of Watch. Number 7 on my list is a movie called In Bruges. It has guns, people get shot, it's really funny, but it also gets you thinking. Colin Farrell plays the main character, a hitman who's sort of a dick to everyone, but everything he says will make you laugh. A murder goes wrong at the beginning, and his boss sends him to a small town called Bruges, which is located in Belgium. Colin absolutely hates it here. He's supposed to lay low, but does everything but that. I won't spoil any more for you, so go ahead and add this to your list. Yes. Moving on, Prisoners is another fairly new movie starring Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. At the beginning of the movie, you learn that Hugh Jackman is a survivalist of types. He's prepared for pretty much anything to happen, as you can see by his cellar, which makes him look like he's ready for a zombie apocalypse. In the beginning, his daughter and his neighbor's kid is kidnapped, and Jake Gyllenhaal is a detective assigned to finding their children. After many leads go dry, Hugh Jackman goes to extreme measures to find his daughter. The movie is bone-chilling, and you will find yourself not sure if you sympathize for Hugh or if you think he's taking things too far. There's plenty of twists in this movie, so buckle in. No Country for Old Men most certainly isn't for the squeamish or faint of heart. This movie is based off the 2005 novel by Cormac McCarthy and is quite possibly one of the best films to come out of 2007. It starts out with Llewellyn Moss, who is hunting and stumbles upon a bunch of dead bodies in the desert. Human curiosity takes the best of him, and he heads over to check out the scene. Once he gets there, he stumbles upon a large sum of cash, and he knows better, but he takes it anyways. The disturbingly calm, evil, and ruthless psychopath Anton Sugar finds his trail and begins hunting Moss. Tommy Lee Jones plays a sheriff who is attempting to track down Anton in the wake of all his murders. The film gets pretty dark and disturbing at times, but it creates this emotional attachment that just draws you into each scene. I hope you enjoy it. The last movie on my list is one of my personal favorites called La Vita è Bella, or Life is Beautiful. It's an Italian film that's set in the 1940s in Italy during the Nazi regime's rise to power. Italian funny man Roberto Benigni plays an Italian Jew who tries to shield his son from the horrors of a concentration camp by pretending it's all an elaborate game for his birthday. The movie begins with Benigni meeting a beautiful woman who he keeps running into under the funniest circumstances. They eventually fall in love and have a little boy named Joshua. Everything is going great until they're stolen from their homes by the Nazis and taken to a concentration camp. Benigni still somehow manages to keep this movie lighthearted and gets you laughing even though they're in a terrible concentration camp. I must warn you, it gets pretty sad near the end. Well everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please stay tuned for more episodes, which I'll probably be releasing every other week. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you liked and shared and subscribed. Leave me a comment if you liked any of the movies or if you have anything to say about them. Also, if you have any recommendations of your own, I'd love to hear them. I'm always open to new movies. One last thing, guys, just before I take off, I just want to let you know that if you're not able to find these titles in Netflix, rest assured they are available on Netflix. If you check the comments or the description of the video, I'm going to leave where each of these movies is available. And if you're trying to figure out how exactly to switch your region on Netflix, if you click my profile, I actually have a video tutorial showing you exactly how to switch your Netflix regions. It takes less than 5 minutes. Thanks for watching and enjoy.